I always think there's one more prompt than there is through this and end up live before I mean to be. We'll get you set up here in the tripod. We'll be good to go. Yes, those are some beautiful trees you're staring at. We got 5 rods. The left one is Ashley's, and then we got my 4. Got to make a quick trip to the truck. Be right back. I can play. Check the volume real quick. Check the volume real quick. I did it right there. Okay, hey, Ashley. Good to see you, beautiful. Always glad to see you. It's nice when Ashley joins me. Oh, there she is.
I might have known you were coming out here today.
Oh, hey, Gigability, how you doing, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So we are done at the gathering. We've already gone, had a fabulous lunch. And now we're out here fishing, trying to take some of Daryl's money. So the gathering was absolutely, the lunch was absolutely fabulous. Daryl does not know exactly how to set things up though, because he put the barbecue first instead of the peach cobbler. So my plate was full and I had to go back to find a peach cobbler. But you know, there's always...
You have plenty of space for peach cobbler.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, let's be honest. The peach cobbler would not have survived the first 5 people. So we're up front. So that's the thing. And just get myself situated. There's so many prompts that you have to go through on YouTube to get to live. And I always think there's one more than there is. So my live starts before I'm actually ready. because I don't want to get it all in the tripod and then have 15 more prompts, because I've done that too many times. I mean, your car ought to be fine where it is, but
And one was a clear road and clear parking.
well, the cops were chasing somebody through the park a bit earlier. I mean, not
Like on golf carts?
now in a car.
Ooh.
Oh. So y'all, I'm doing this from my my tablet's what I'm reading chat from. So if anything messes up on the video, let me know, because I'm not watching my own video because I'm living it. Let's see.
Video down here at the bottom.
Yeah, getting ready for work, gig. Going shrimping again. How's the fishing been with you lately, buddy? And how you fishing and hunting outdoors? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. So there were a lot of excellent sponsors this year at the gathering as a whole, right? So it's not just the meal. There's the cash prizes. There's a lot of donations of prizes. One of the boys, he won a shirt, right? I mean, a hat.
Yeah, well, I got. It's this hat.
Oh, Catfish Pro hat.
Yeah. Well,
Pink one. Well,
Well, I won a green hat, and somebody else won a pink hat, and we swapped hats. I don't think we wanted a pink hat, so.
ah. So she swapped for a pink hat. Yay. Okay. The fish have been going on the beach. Well, I'll tell you, I miss fishing down there. I got my surf cart ready, and well, next time I go, I'm going to be out there surf fishing live. I don't see anybody doing that. And I don't know if live surf fishing was the great thing for me or not, but because my numbers of viewers, I had like 2,000 the first day and 3,000, and they went up, but I think my actual big jump in numbers to 10 or 12,000 viewers was actually when we were surf fishing. And I don't know if people just really like live surf fishing. I mean, because how do you not like it? You get, if nothing else, you're watching the waves crash, and
I like this.
it is, but more beautiful. And we're sitting under some shade trees, which is nice because it is a little cool, a little warm out here today. So they had food catered in. It was barbecue. They had baked beans, slaw. There was some cookies. There was some peach cobbler. There was other stuff that I missed. Lots of beverages. Pepsi was one of the sponsors, so all the Pepsi products and water, and I think there was tea, and it was a good old time. There were like 5 rods given away. River Cats Tackle gave one away. Freddy's Outdoor Adventures gave one away. There was one from Catfish Sumo. A couple others I skipped that missed me right now. The guy from Blue River Gate. I think's the name of it. The preserved Asian carp, Blue River carp. Yeah, Blue River carp. He was handing out samples, and he gave one of Ashley's kids one, and he looked at me with this goofy face of, what do I do with this? So Ashley's rod has a piece of Blue River carp bait on it. The others are all skipjack. The one on the far right is a skipjack head with a double hook rig. The other just body pieces. So I've been curious about the Blue River carp. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I was interested to try it. So I don't know what process they use. I'm sure it's a proprietary, yada, yada, yada. but to me, it feels like carp jerky, right? It's been dehydrated, and at the very basics of it, it's been dehydrated and toughened, and then soaked in oil. So where there used to be moisture is now oil, and it is oily as can be. Getting it on the hook was almost like putting leather. So as far as me worrying about it falling off, it ain't gonna. How effective it's gonna be is questionable. I don't know. I've never tried it. So it's gonna be an interesting get together one way or the other. Hey AJ's, I'm in your spot. I mean, I doubt it because you'd have to rent the campsite to have this spot. Hey Crypto Billy. AJ, you missed a fabulous lunch. They tried to give away Daryl's Ranchero, his Ford Ranchero that he's trying to restore or whatever, but we didn't win that. We got bait towels. How you doing, Josh?
Hey, brother.
There's Josh Thompson, formerly of Thompson's Bait and More, or Outdoors. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
Say hi.
Good to see you.
I'm scared of the crowd, so
I understand.
we got a nice setup here. Looks good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sad Shelby didn't come, but I'm glad you made it.
Yeah. She didn't get to take her fish off the hook this year.
Well, I mean, in fairness, do we all think I'm going to catch one?
Well, you will. Well, yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you. See you again.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get some bait and then head north.
Oh, what kind of bait you getting?
Shad, bluegill, red fins.
Where are you getting them from?
Below down here.
Oh, you're going to catch them. Okay.
Yeah, net.
Yeah, I went below the dam yesterday morning at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like right there at that walk-on pier thing.
Mm-hmm.
Drum were rolling, that was about it.
Yeah.
I saw some guy catching some shad and in a net, and one guy catching some bluegill, but as far as skipjack,
No,
nothing.
It's been hard to get around here.
Yeah.
Everybody else and their brothers getting it.
I'm glad somebody's finding them. Yeah, hopefully they'll come back thick next year.
Yeah, I think it'll replenish itself next year. Lower the limit per day, you know.
Yeah.
Might be
Yep. But I mean, Kentucky Dam has 500. I'm like, I don't know how.
yeah.
I mean,
But I'm gonna head out, man.
it was good seeing you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Hey, Fishy Things, welcome in. If you haven't hit that like button and you feel like you should, feel free to do it. I'd appreciate it. It doesn't mean that I'm any good at this. It just means that you've double tapped your screen and you feel good about yourself, and that's all that matters, right? My brain's going nuts here. John from River Cats Tackles here. John, I know his last name. I've said it 12 times. Cyclone. He's here. He's got some interesting products up there, actually. He asked me if I'd used his hooks before, and I told him that Bugman 22 he had won a couple of packs of the 12-aughts a year or two ago, and I've used those and liked them. I said, but you know, a lot of the places I fish are not 12-aught territory. And he said, well, you want to try some smaller ones? So he gave me a pack of the German steel 6-aughts. So, you know, going out for river monsters for this contest is not the place to be using those, but I'm going to look forward to trying those out. I did pull one out of the bag, and it definitely is sharp. He's got some interesting products. So, for those who don't know, I think it's rivercatstackle.com. He came out with a rod a few months back, and it's got some vintage colors, I'd say, to them. One's kind of a brown and one's kind of I think it's a green color. like a dark green. Not fluorescent, none of that stuff. But it's spiral wrapped, which means that when you get to the tip guide, it is facing downward, like if you were holding a spinning rod naturally with the eyes down. So the eyes start on top and they roll around to the side until the tip is at the bottom. And what that does is when you're fighting a fish, it's not going to try to twist the rod in your hand. Bass guys, they the custom bass rods, they've done this for years, and apparently this is an offshore thing too. So it's not like a process he invented, but it's the first catfish rod I've seen that does that. He also has a reel that he came out with that apparently he designed and is having manufactured. I've cast it a couple of times. It's one of those that has so there are 3 ways on a bait caster. You have the thumb bar that you push that goes all the way across, kind of like my Alios 400 has. You got the little push button on the side, like the Abu Garcia 6500s have, and then you got like my Abu 7000. It's got this switch that you can flip down and up, and trolling reels often have that. That's the kind of switch it has. That's the kind of line or spool release it has, and it does not. When you roll the handle forward, it doesn't snap back like a lot of reels. Like most reels do. You have to push it back manually. They said that's because when you're going for your long casts and stuff, sometimes the inertia will kick it forward, and you all know if you've ever done a power cast with a spinning reel the wrong way and the bail closes. Line stops immediately and your rig just keeps going and you've snapped off. So it's going to be interesting. It's not my style of reel. Like I say, that is my least favorite type of spool release, but it's a very interesting looking reel. And he's got some rattling floats that, well, they're just different. They're different, and I can't say another word about it. But I'm going to say some more words about it. Hang on. I shall be back. Mike's hot, just so you guys know. John, would you mind bringing your rod and reel and some of your wares down and showing off some stuff on my live stream? Okay. Grab your rod and reel. I want to show some of the toys from your accoutrements box. Just grab the whole thing if that's okay.
I don't have a problem with it. That means I gotta walk all the way back down.
It ain't that far.
I can't throw like you. I'll end up backlashing online.
Oh, we ain't throwing it. We're just going to show it off. I mean, I can take it down there.
I feel like I got
I'm gonna come listen.
No, you gonna have it.
But yeah, I got one of.
They fighting over who's going to show it off. So John's got himself a little tackle store on the back of his truck right now. Well, he did. It's now in my hand. But there's so many interesting products that I've looked at, but I am certainly not an expert on. So I thought I'd have one of the guys that's a lot more familiar with it come on down and talk about it.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff.
We got all kinds of new stuff too.
So I mean, you got your normal 2.5-inch cigar floats. They're smaller diameter, I think, than well, smaller than the 3-inch, obviously. He's got these big 2.5-inch oval floats. Sells those. He's got this thing, which looks like it should be a firework. Red and white. It's tapered at the top. See if you can see that. And heavy rattles, like
Yeah.
probably 10 or 12 beads in there, it feels like.
And it's through. There's
Yeah.
no knot.
You go right through it, just like a cigar float, but without the peg. And then you got these things. Look like bomb pops when we were kids, right? Got rattles in there. They're not as loud. There's a little bit of muting going on, but you got flutes that go sideways. Hole goes through the center on this. So in theory, the water's going to hit it and it's going to rotate. So that is cool.
And again, they're not like a spook where you're running through the eyes, weaving in and out. There's no kinking, nothing like that.
No tying anything. Come on in front here, Randy. We have Randy Swain. Big gray out the
old gray hair fisherman.
There you go. They also have the little Zara spook type things. These look like 2.5-inchers.
Yes, sir.
They rattle. Oh, sorry, microphone's here. They rattle. They come in pretty colors.
Yeah.
And then of course he's got the. I don't remember the name of these, the double inline rattles. Again, they have a hole through the center.
Double bead.
Yeah. And of course, he's got an absolute load upon load of hooks. I got the German alloy. There's a set of 6/0.
Yep.
So they're slightly offset. They have the bent eye on them. And I've already felt these. They are mega sharp.
Those are German alloy. Most of your hooks come from China.
Oh yeah.
These are German alloy steel. Our hooks are actually made in Germany. They're set up and they've got the twist already built into them. They've got the twist in them. They've got the offset in them. Most of your hooks they'll make your hook. It comes in from China. They cost 3 to 5 cents. When they get here, the people here selling them put the twist in them themselves. They put the offset in them, and then they repackage them and sell them. The thing about it is, our hooks are set the way they're supposed to be in the factory before they're forged.
For the hardening process, yeah.
For the hardening process, you don't have to worry about them messing up.
Yeah, because you all know when you, especially like with the cheap Aberdeen hooks, you bend them back. Once you bend them, they want to bend back.
Yep.
So Randy's going to go over the new reel, and that's the rod I was telling you guys about.
This is a River Cast Tackle Pro XS model. We'll have it out in the next 3 or 4 months. We're hoping to have it out before there's a big tournament at Vicksburg, and we're hoping we have it out before that, and that's in July. This rod is an acid wrapped rod. It's taken from the offshore saltwater rods. The eyes go up and twist around.
Yeah, it's the spiral eyes, like I said, I need a spiral wrap on that.
And it's called an acid wrap. That's what your heavy sea fishing.
Yeah, keep the rod from twisting on you.
It keeps the rod twisting on it. When you get a big fish on, it's straight down underneath. The line will not get into the blank of the rod. And whenever you got it, it's pulling straight down, so it's not trying to roll your rod one way or the other.
The grips on that thing feel amazing. So they're not super thick. You know, a lot of the new rods, the catfish rods, it feels like you're holding a log in your hand sometimes.
Yeah, lightweight too.
It's lightweight, but it's got a really good grippy texture. It's not really textured. I mean, there's minor texture into it, but it's got a real good solid grip on it.
And it's a soft grip.
Yep.
The rod is actually carbon fiber. And you know, you can get different grades of carbon fiber. This is one of the tops that you can get in any class. This reel is basically about a 7,000 series edition. That's what everybody would compare it to.
Yeah.
We got a 5-ounce sinker on here. Mike was sitting here watching them cast it down here a minute ago. The guys with 12-foot rod, with this 7.5 footer, they were casting the same distance.
And John can cast that thing good.
Yep.
Let's show you a little bit about the reel. So it does have the level line is synchronized, so when you're pulling line out, it goes out as well. You get the adjustment knob here. Of course, you got clicker over here. Nice big power handle, nice drag on it. I don't know what the capacity is, but I mean, look at the side plate. You got 1, 2, 3.
You ain't got it worked out.
Oh, sorry. You got 4 screws holding the side plate on, 4 on that side. The real seat is at least 4. I think it's probably just 4, but you got 4 tack points there for the real seat. And it is, the way it's mounted onto the frame is really nice. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good, solid, good quality reel. I don't have pricing on that. What's the pricing on the rod now?
I think the rod is 130.
130, okay. These are all available at rivercattackle.com. Do you know any pricing information on the reel yet?
Do not yet.
Okay.
John is still working on that. We'll know something on that within the next month or so.
Yep.
Okay.
So
This rod, whenever you get a hold of a big fish, you'll catch yourself fighting. You fight the fish different. It's not, I've got the big fish on it right now. It's 33 or 34 pounds. We've just come out with these rods. I've had my rods since February. And I didn't realize it until I got to fighting a fish that weighed 31 pounds. And somebody was talking about how relaxed I looked doing it because I wasn't having to fight
you weren't fighting the reel and the rod both.
Wasn't fighting the fish and the rod. And it makes a world of difference.
And I was holding the rod earlier. John got on the other end and pulled it down. Pretty much doubled it over. Lord.
We can do it right there for a demonstration if you want to. If you want to do
If you want to, you're good for it. I'm scared to death of.
I ain't scared of it.
I know you aren't.
And now this been played with for 2 or 3 for all weekend and probably last week and everything like that. You got it wrapped around?
Yep.
Ready? But see, whenever you're pulling down, it's pulling straight down. Walk to the side and pull. Again, it's staying straight down. So you're fighting that fish straight down.
I mean, that is a absolute.
And think about this.
That's a strong reel,
Think
rod.
about this too. You know, you got 7.5 foot rod here. It's casting the same as a 12-foot rod.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go carry y'all's back up the hill. I appreciate you coming down, Randy.
We're at rivercatstackle.com, and if you can't find what you're looking for there's John's phone number's on there. Pick up the phone and call him, and he's the one that answers the phone.
And let me tell you, John is he's never lost for words. I've talked to him on the phone before. You got it? All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Ain't no need both of us fat guys walking up there.
Appreciate you, Randy. Thanks so much, man. So I think everybody knows who Randy is. If not, he is married to Burrito Catfish Lady. Let's see here. I'm back to you guys. Whew. There you go, Living Waters Outdoors. Oh, that is you, Josh. Oh, well, hey, brother. I hope we did justice to the products. Yeah, those rattles, man, they're nice. So the thing is, like those double bead that I showed you, a lot of people have those, right? Seen a couple different rattles. But Demon Dragons, everybody's got some style of that. But that bomb pop looking one, I've never seen that before. And then that other that looked like more like a popping cork one, I've not seen that one before. So John is coming out. He's not just coming out with the same stuff. He's doing new stuff. And like I say, he designed that reel. It's I won't say the dollar number that he put on it, but he told me he spent, let's just say, new car money getting that that reel prototyped out. So it's unlike. So I looked into getting rods made, because I mean it's no secret that any idiot with a little bit of money can go get a rod built, right? And you can spec out the components and everything. And I stayed away from it because I didn't think there was enough money in it. And when I say that, between what the rods were going to cost me, what I'd have to sell them for to make a decent profit, and then have to deal with shipping, and shipping is $25 a rod typically, if you're lucky. Because man, I don't know what you've shipped lately, but that shipping is absolutely ridiculous. And that's not even including the tube or whatever. And some people pack them in PVC. I don't know what John packs his in, but I mean, it gets expensive, and I have to buy a quantity, probably 100, 200, which isn't a big deal. But I was looking for something. I was looking to make a surf rod that I found that there's a decent one out there for a decent price that I didn't feel like it was worth trying to compete with, because there needs to be a bigger differentiation factor. I don't want to come out with something that everybody else has already done, right? So, when you see a lot of these companies that come out with rods, I mean, you tell them kind of the specs you want. They send you a prototype for, 80 or $100 per rod. And, you look it over, you decide if that's what you want, and then you order them. But, you pick out your rod color and you this and you that. But I'm not enough of a rod builder that I felt it was something I could bring extra value to the table with. That could change in the future, but, a lot of people will come out of the rod just to have their name on it. And, I think John kind of thinks like I do. He wants something different. He wants to add value. He wants to bring out something that's not there. I specifically asked him about fluorescent colors, and he said, nope. I said, YouTubers love them, stand out. And he said, I understand that. He said, but that's, he's not here to do what everybody else does. I mean, when you look at my live stream, I mean, these anvil rods that I'm using, they stick out really nicely. Ashley's rod is a kind of a royalish beetle blue. It doesn't stick out as much. Now, at night, it does have, in the center of the eyes, there's a high vis that will show off a black light, and it's got the glow tip on it and that kind of stuff. But yeah, during the day, the light doesn't do it any favors on screen. So anyway, so John was a sponsor this year. It was good to finally meet him. He's coming out with good products, innovative products. It's something that every Tom, Dick, and Harry doesn't have, which is really nice. And I'm glad. I really appreciate Randy coming down, because I knew I couldn't give the situation justice. Let's see where we at. Yeah, I showed off the German alloy hooks. Like I say, they are sharp. They're nice. They're very nice hooks. Hey, Jose, welcome in, my friend. Appreciate you being here. I know there's a lot of people live because of the gathering. I know that there's other people live that aren't here at the gathering. The water is beautiful today. It's not completely flat calm, but it's not treacherous. Gorgeous sky. I mean, there's really not a whole lot more you can ask for. And I'm sitting here with the most amazing woman I know. And that didn't, I don't even have, she didn't have to, she didn't pay me to say that. That's the amazing part. So last night was interesting. I think everybody heard about the storms that were coming through. We got a little wet. But all of our tents survived, both of our tents survived and were upright and all that kind of stuff. And power stayed on all night. Other than just mild annoyances, it was a good night. The what?
Being waterboarded at 4 a.m.
Well, yeah, being waterboarded at 4 a.m., but I mean, you know,
It's part of fun.
it's still better than nothing. Still better than getting blown around.
Yeah, yeah.
It could have been worse.
It definitely could have been worse. Could have been a lot wetter.
Oh, Burrito's catfishing lady came in here. Hello, Ricardo Battistini. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. So, Lisa, did your husband do a great job on the dog and pony show on the rod and reel? Thought he did a fine, fine job. I appreciated him coming down and doing it justice because I knew I couldn't. But you know, I was sitting there looking at that reel and all I was doing was going, man, all I need is a half hour alone in this reel and a screwdriver and I'm gonna have a good time. Y'all know I like taking reels apart. Of course, the downside is then you have to put it back together. The goal when you put a reel back together is to not have more pieces, any pieces left over. And the reel functions when you're done. And those are two things that I'm getting better at. Oh, I need to message Shannon. I haven't told her that I told her I'm down here, but I haven't specifically told her that I got the batteries for that lady. I haven't told you yet. Let me see here. Let me get to... Answer a message or two here. So I'll tell everybody here and Ashley gets to find out the same process. So when I was at Pickwick a few weekends ago, I was running my 24-volt trolling motor pretty much on high for about 3 hours, and then you know how it is when your trolling motor decides it doesn't have enough voltage. It still moves, but not very well. Well, that's what happened. And so I looked up the amps on a typical deep cycle battery, and they're around 105 new. 105 amp hours, I should say. Well, the lithium batteries I have are rated at 100. But with your lithiums, you can go for about 80, you can use 80 to 85% of battery capacity before it drops, before the voltage drops so low that the battery shuts off. With lead acid, you get about 50%. So you get about 52.5 amps versus 80 to 85 amp hours, I should say. So I'd already bought, my stupid spending habits are, I got one lithium battery for my kayak because I thought that 100 was the biggest I could get that would fit. But I'm like, well, you know, that'll get me about 2.5, 3 hours on high speed. And if I'm down in Florida, you know, I want a backup battery just in case, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. So they came on sale again. I got a second one. Well, they're a matched pair, which makes them good for using in a 24-volt system. But I was like, you know, I don't want to put them both in there because then I've got nothing for my kayak. But then a 150 amp hour battery came up on sale, one of the eco-worthies for under $200. And that'd give me that extra capacity at about a $10 or 10 pound weight difference. And it'll fit in the battery box on the kayak. So that gave me the idea, we'll just move both the lithiums to the boat, which means that the 2 lead acids that are in there, both of which may still be good, definitely one of them is, I don't need anymore and I want to get rid of them. And I hate selling stuff because when you sell stuff, people, you know, I swear you could put a $100 bill on Facebook Marketplace for $50 and some fool would offer you 25 and that's all they got, that's all they're going to give you. So I try not to sell things. Rather give them away than not. So if y'all watch Skipjack Cindy's show, there was that sailboat that was just kind of sitting there, they had been beached and it was just sitting there. Well, the lady came out there to get it. She lost her husband a few years ago. He passed away. They've got, I think, 3 kids. And somebody had given them that boat, and they are making a family project out of cleaning it up and getting it back on the water. I mean, it still floats, and you know, it's got a berth and everything in it. It looked like it needed a good scrubbing, but I don't know what else it needed. And Cindy was asking her how they were going to get it moved. She said, well, they had a trolling motor and borrowed a battery or something like that. And I was like, oh, she needs a battery? Woo, guess who got batteries? So I told Shannon to grab her number and I'd bring batteries down if she was interested in them. So I'm just going to send Shannon my number, give that lady if she wants to grab them. Otherwise, I'm not going home with them. If I have to take them to AutoZone and just drop them off, I'll do that. But I'm one of these people, I always hate it when people brag about helping other people, which I guess I just kind of did, but that's not really what I'm doing. And I hate it when people ask for stuff, because there's always the same person asking over and over again, and it seems to be the process. So she wasn't asking for anything, but I saw she needed something. I thought that would be the good way to help everybody out. So there we are. So now Ashley knows the whole story too. It was funny because when I sent the message to Shannon to tell her to get, for her to get the lady's number, I didn't want it. Don't need it. And Shannon's like, how did you get my number? It's Facebook Messenger. I didn't need your number. What you thinking, baby love?
That's a pretty day.
It is a pretty day. And I've got these rebar rod holders I got from Travis Young. He does make them for sale. I think they're $25, but don't quote me on that. Basically, it's these are 1/2-inch rebar that's bent in a little horseshoe shape, and where he's got the cross pieces, it's 2 pieces of rebar, one on top of each other. I'm gonna tell you, fish ain't taking those anywhere. Crap I got off Temu, I was always a little worried. Well, when you put the rod in them, I mean, they even bent over a little bit. Scary. I know. It's what you get for shopping on Temu. I get it. I swear I just heard this snow cone machine truck coming through. It's really cool. They come through 2 or 3 times a day. They've got a contract with the park. I think the large snow cone was $4. Wasn't exactly shaved ice kind of snow cone, but it was close enough. They still have other stuff. They have drinks and pickles and candy bars and much you can fit in a little Ranger truck. Oh, there's an interesting look at the helicopter. It's like it's not maybe an Osprey. It looks weird. It's got 2 rotors on it. Or is it? No, it's a prop plane. I think it's an Osprey. I think it's one of those that, you know, the wings tilted, it propellers up or sideways. Really cute. I know y'all could all see that on the screen, but whatever. I never said I'm a cinematographer. Whoops. Hey, Jason Ruiz, good to see you. What part of Texas you from, my friend? I lived in the Dallas area for a few years, and yeah. I miss Texas lakes, let me tell you. Around Memphis, we have the Sand Aquifer, which runs north of, far north of Memphis and down, and I think even into Louisiana. That's where we get our water from. It's purified through the sand and blah, 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 blah. So we don't need water reservoirs for drinking water. Texas, on the other hand, that's where they have the reservoirs, is where they get a lot of their drinking water from. San Antonio. Lovely area. San Antonio is one of those, I think it's German. I don't remember for sure. The San Antonio street signs are not just in English. There's another language. I think it's German, because they do have a pretty good German population down there, or at least did. Riverwalk is nice, touristy area, but it's still nice. But when we lived in Dallas, that had 4 or 5 good-sized reservoirs within 30 minutes of the house. And I just don't have that in Memphis. We got the Mississippi River, but it is not, the level is not controlled. We don't have any dams on the actual Mississippi from as high as, I think Alton, Illinois is the lowest one. There's one where the Ohio enters the Mississippi up around Cairo, Illinois. But I mean, the water flows and there's nothing to stop it. Nature is the only thing that stops our water. So, our levels can fluctuate 40 feet in a year easily. So being able to get a boat in, on or off the river is not as easy as some places. And it's not, I guess it is predictable within a few days, but not like it is for a lot of areas. Like here, when you got houses, you can't see any here, but they do have a lot of houses built on the river, on the bank. So if the river rises 6 or 7 feet, people are having some serious problems. They do drop the river during the winter to get down to winter pools so that the whole river system can handle all the runoff from the snow and ice melting up north, in addition to, of course, the spring rains. Oh, rod number 4. Well, I mean, there was action. I mean, I didn't hear it clicker go off. Still not hearing the clicker go off, but you can see it's moving. There's the clicker. I'm just gonna take it out of freeze spool and turn the clicker off. Got slack in it right now. He's gonna pull. He's slacked up, so I'm gonna. There we go. We got something. Hey, Travis, can you bring a net over? I think I got hung. Well, I do, maybe. I think he hung me up. I'll put it off, let it see if it comes out. I think he wrapped me up. I'll see if he comes out. But I did feel head shakes on him. Yeah, he's still moving. No, he's gonna have to come out. I'll hold it here with the clicker on. That looks like the popo. Hmm? You want to go swim for him?
Hmm?
Did you want to go swim for him?
No.
I didn't think so.
Sound like ran up on it and
Oh, he's moving. Do it again. Come on, do it again. No, he's got me wrapped in something. Come on, buddy, come free, because I ain't scared to go put on my life vest and go out there swimming. I'm not cherishing the idea either. And if I thought he was $1,000 fish, I'd already be out there. I'm thinking he's probably 10, 15 pounder, which doesn't even make the small fish. Small fish right now are at the gathering was about 31,
Oh, wow.
and the big ones in the low 40s. I'm hoping if I pull against him enough times, he'll pull back and go, I'm sick of this, and run away. I got the clicker on and him in the rod holder, so if it pulls out, it'll pull out. Do we know if the official rules have a stipulation that says you can't go swim for?
No stipulation.
No stipulation.
No stipulation.
You're just saying that, so I'll go out there and swim for it, ain't you?
You got that there, it's out. You've got two. We only found out yesterday. There's two logs lying, one that way and one that way. I could see.
Where out? Out there?
So you see where that's like, you get the sandbar there.
Uh-huh.
They're in there. They came down the river and they just dropped in. That all suddenly informed us last night.
And that's about where he's at.
Give him a chance, he might come out.
Yeah, I've got him. Got him on clicker. He'll zing if he does. So that was Martin from the UK. He's down here for the gathering. He said there's a one going this way and one going that way. And basically pointed to right where my rod is. Oh, well. Oh, Ricky Watts, the bass backers are out here. They had a tournament yesterday, probably have one today. Red River Outdoors. So I've got one on the 4th rod. He's got me tied up into something, and we'll see if he wants to come out or not. We'll see how that works. Sorry guys, I was somewhat fighting a fish there. Hey, Skipjack Cindy, welcome back, welcome back. Skipjack Cindy was kind enough to come out here last night and brought Travis with her. Travis had made me a caramel apple pie, and oh my god, let's hope the kids haven't gotten into it, because I'm gonna have to have any more. I mean, I only had 2 slices yesterday. Hush. You ain't any better than I am. Leave me alone. Manitoba's only one. So how many rods legal? Sorry, to get back to that question. You can have 7,000 rods, but you can only have a total of 100 hooks. However you choose to do that, divvy up those hooks as long as there's not more than 3 per rod. Unless you're skipjack or bait fishing, if you bait fishing, you can use a sabiki rig. Otherwise, limit is 3 hooks per rod. So in theory, 33 1/3 rods or 100 with a single hook. Now, of course, that's 100 hooks per angler. So, if you got jug lines out there, that takes off the number. You get that. You get the idea. How much can you get one of those rods for? So Red River Outdoors. So these are anvil rods, the 4 glowing ones, green, yellow, green, whatever the color they are. Those are, I think, they're about $100. Just Google anvil rods. These are last year's models. He only had them at that time. I think he's gotten a better stock of them, but at that time he only had extra heavies available, which I got. They were half price, so $50 a pop, I think, plus shipping. So it makes sense that if you're going to buy one, the more you buy, you get away with 1 shipping charge. So there's that. I like them. They're very nice rods. They do come, I think, as low as a medium or medium light. I don't remember correctly. I don't remember for sure. But, I know they have medium heavy, extra heavy. I think they've got a medium as well. They show up nicely on camera. They glow nicely with a black light. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus 1 rod guides on them. It's a 7.5 foot rod. They're stainless steel eyes. They don't have any of that ceramic inserts or any of that stuff. They're solid stainless steel. Double footed, and they've got a reinforcement guide between the top, or bar between the top and the bottom foot. So they're solid. They are S-class rods. They're not carbon fiber, but they are. They got the aluminum reel seat on them with a double rocking nuts, and the EVA foam grip has a very good texture on it. They're nice rods. They really are. The one on the far left, that's a force rod by Triple City Anglers. I actually won that at the gathering last year. I think that's a medium. It may be a medium heavy. Those you'd have to check triplecityanglers.com. I want to say they're around 120, 130, but I may be wrong on that. I think that's actually a medium heavy, and compared to like my Uncle Lou rods that are medium heavies, it is a lighter action rod, lighter power rod, I should say. It's just not as stiff. Call it what you will. I've heard people say that they're made by the Big Cat Fever folks, but I don't know that to be factual, so I probably shouldn't have even said that I heard that, but there you go. So rod number 4, I definitely felt the fish on the end of it, and then I felt a log or some kind of structure he's dug into. So I'm giving him a chance to come out and we can all play and be best friends. He didn't feel super heavy. If he did, I'd be out there swimming right now. But yeah, that's where we're at. Sorry. swim out and get it. There you go. Hey, you know, Cindy, I'm thinking about it, but not that hard. Gigability fat guys think too, man. Hey, Cowboy Joe, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Following Ghost, good to see you as well. Pierre Copes, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Cowboy Joe, yes, they are in fact one-piece rods. Send me some fish pics next week. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll know what a fish looks like. It's been a long time. Well, see, Ashley keeps track of things that I don't keep track of. There's a triathlon, buy or triathlon something tomorrow. And they have cut out the swimming piece of it because of how much current is in the river. Because yesterday morning I was at the dam at Chickamauga, and they were it looked like they were generating on all of them, and all of the gates were open as well. So the flood control gates, as well as them just, you know, doing the hydropower. And it rained last night a pretty good amount. So that just means that they're going to be letting out water longer, which means there's going to be a pretty good current. And I don't know how deep the water is there. It should be fairly deep. The avionics makes it look like the depth contour lines are pretty close together right here. So we'll see. 99% sure this has a sinker slide rig on it. If it had a three-way rig on it, then I could just bust off the sinker and be done with it. But with a sinker slide, you can't do that. I mean, I guess in theory the metal could bend and you could, but anyway, no guarantees. So I'd rather he just swim out of there. But also it could be that the hook is dug into something, not just a sinker. But it does have a cannonball on it. Because I needed 6 ounces. Travis brought me some coin sinkers. I had some 2s and 4s and some 3s in there, which was very nice of him. I can't thank him enough for that. And that pie was just amazing. Travis is going to end up getting out of the bait business and into the pie selling business, I bet. Well, Jake going out and somebody else getting a fish sounds about right. See, halibut are like flounder, except so much bigger. Flounder don't get that big. Halibut you can get big ones. And I can also say that if it were a sandy bottom, I might, you know, be more inclined to go out there. It's rocks right here. And if y'all saw, Ashley unfortunately had to see me get out of the air mattress from the tent this morning. It was not pretty. Let's just say I rolled onto the ground, waddled on my knees till I could get over to the picnic table so I could pull myself up, because my knees are just not happy with me. So pair that with some slick rocks, and I feel like falling into and out of both this weekend off my own boat will look like child's play. Now, if there were a child here that wanted to go swimming, I mean, I'm just saying. I think Ashley got to see a side of me this weekend, and she's going, oh my God, how old is this man? He's got the knees of a 150-year-old. Hey, jet skiers, y'all want to make $5 real quick? Come here. Might like to tangle up all the other lines too. But it was definitely a good bite on that that fourth rod. I mean, I felt the fish on him, and even after he had me in the whatever structure he got me stuck into, he still pulled out a little bit of line. Wasn't enough for me to do anything with, though. I'm not sure how long I should give him before I just give up. And that's not even the best piece of bait. The far right rod has a double hook rig on it with the weight on the bottom on a lighter leader, so that's one of those I could snap off. It's got a skipjack head on it. The 4 rods to the right all have skipjacks. The one on the left has a piece of that River City Blue River carp bait. They handed one of Ash's boys a sample today. I'm like, I'll try it. For those who haven't heard the speech, I'll give it to you again. So, to me, what it feels like is dehydrated, like carp jerky, right? And so they dehydrated it, and then they soak it in some kind of oil. And so they get all the moisture out, and then it sucks in some of that oil. But it is difficult to put on a hook because it's not coming off easy. I'll just tell you that. It was kind of like putting leather on a hook, and it's not as grainy or whatever as beef jerky, of course. But that's what it feels like to me, is that they dehydrated it, and I'm sure there's more processes to it than that. But dehydrated and soaked in oil is about what it feels like. Let's see. AJ, I told you could come to the gathering and you could meet a whole bunch of YouTubers. Most of them not as handsome as me, but, what do you expect, right? I mean, the good place to network, to be honest with you. I can't name all the people that were here because, believe it or not, in person I'm shy. So I don't, just go up and say hi to everybody and go, hey, who are you? But, so John Cyclone's here, Dustin from Snag and Wister is here, Randy and Lisa Swain are here, Pontoon Jody and the guy, Cool Cats, James is here, Catfish Regulators and his lovely wife, Laura the Explorer is here, Big Mike, and some members of Big Mike's family, Travis Young and some of his family. Catfishing with Us was here. Catfish Hunters TV, John and his wife were here. Yakshore Adventures, Yakshore Outdoors, Freddy Outdoor Adventures, Chris and Telly from Hooks and Hammocks. Mike Sampson's here. Martin S. from the UK is here. I'm going to forget people because I always do. Skipjack Cindy and Travis came by last night. I was hoping they were coming for lunch, but they didn't. They're too good for us. Dominic Hollis is here. Gentleman channel name is Pitbull is here. Real Life 432, 423, something like that. He's here. That's all I can remember off the top of my head right this very second. Danny Stone, I don't think he's here, but Parker's here. I didn't see him though. He didn't come to lunch. He was out fishing. Coin sinkers, no, the flat ones with the line that goes through the center that are shaped kind of like a teardrop, those are, people call them river sinkers. The coin sinkers, they're round. They have an indentation kind of in the center, and not a hole. And they use like the swivel eye kind of thing as the attachment point. They work good on sinker slides and stuff like that, or tying on directly. Whereas like the river sinkers are kind of like built for Carolina rigging by themselves. Coin sinkers can work as a bank sinker, etc. I've got 6-ounce cannonballs on them right now because most of them. Oh, hang on just a second. 2 of them actually have 4-ounces on them, and I think the 4th rod is one of them that actually has a 4-ounce on it. And how did I attach it? Was it a 3-way rig? It almost would have to be. So that one may have a 4-ounce sinker on it, which means that it's possible I could, if the sinker is what's stuck, I could possibly blank the sinker off. We'll give him a little bit more time to come to his senses, but I mean, if he ain't moving, that line's not really doing anything, that tells me that he's either hunkered up in his spawning hole, or he can't move from his side either, or he's off. But he did originally, I gave him some slack, and he did do a pull, so he or she had something going. I keep watching the line, and it moves, of course, with the waves, and I keep thinking, ooh, it's gonna just, he's about to make a run for it, but he never does. Like I say, that's not even the best piece of bait out there. Hey, Caden Fire Gamer, how you doing, my friend? About to be at your place and go fishing. Cool. You got any new toys lately, Caden? Hey, there's Dominic Hollis. Told you he was here. How you doing, Dominic?
Daddy, I just had to come and bother y'all on my way.
Well, we appreciate you, Dominic. Good seeing you, my friend. Hey, Lo. Hey, Melissa. No, I appreciate you giving me a call. We're out in Chattanooga this weekend. We appreciate y'all. Thanks, Melissa. Bye-bye. Do what?
Go ahead and put it down for next week.
So maybe we're regulars at this one establishment. They just call me, yeah, I want y'all's table.
Maybe it's not going for it.
And we are confirmed with Shirley for, yeah. So some of our friends from the dancing establishment we go to, they've got a pool, and they have this really nice pavilion they built in their backyard. They hire a band to come out and have a big pool party. So that's next weekend. And the following weekend after that, there's something going on. It's something I can't remember. It's not very memorable. Oh, it's another road trip. We're going somewhere. Oh, we're going to Louisville, Kentucky to go visit Steve Douglas. No. We're going to fish the Ohio River with some. Wait. Hang on. It's coming to me. Oh, yes. Ashley is getting her master's degree. That's her graduation ceremony is going to be up in Louisville, Kentucky in 2 weeks.
3?
3 weeks?
3. Next week with the kids. Week after will be
be the one without. And a week after that will be the one.
Okay, now we're both calendarily challenged. I think that the month's shorter than she does. Okay, so next weekend is not then the 31st, and then yours. Okay, so next weekend we don't have anything going on.
And it's Memorial Day weekend.
Next weekend's not, is it? Thought that was the 31st.
Nope.
Okay, hang on. Oh, she says the party on the 31st. I just thought it was a Memorial Day weekend. That typically, I don't know.
Actually, it's only this year.
You're right. It's May 26th this year. Monday. Now, nobody said anything in a while. Let me see if my chat's froze because it does that because, you know, YouTube sucks. No, y'all just didn't have anything to say to each other. Still 6 of you here. God bless each and every one of you. Of course, I'm one and Ashley's the other, but there's 4 of you that are here. So I have not been camping since I was a kid. And then it was, you know, either camp or remember one time one of my grandfather's friends was down at Pickwick and I stayed, which is kind of weird now that I think about it. Some guy I really didn't know, and I'm a kid camping in his tent. But basically he took me fishing is what happened. He wasn't a priest or anything, so I'm safe there. Bad joke, whatever. So, you know, this whole, you know, having to get dressed to go to the bathroom kind of thing. Why is it only at, okay. Let me see if that brought us back to life or not. Yep, we're back.
What do I need to do? Wait a minute.
You still got a circle? Kill it and restart it. Yep. It's working for me.
Yeah, I'm back in.
All right, technical troubles or, you know, the standard YouTube sucks. It doesn't even tell you. It's weird. I mean, you shouldn't have to monitor your own stream to make sure that it's still coming through. I mean, it should tell you when it's not working. I'm gonna see if I can feel anything with this fish. It hasn't taken any line, so I don't have high hopes. I think it's probably time to go ahead and break it off if I have to. Yep. Yep. Yep, lost the whole rig. Oh well. It happens. Let's see what I've got already tied up, if anything. Somehow I left my entire gigantic rig bag. Let's see, it's for bumping, double hook rig, bottom weight. 80-pound 10-aught single bottom. We'll use that. Actually, might as well use, no, not with the extra problems down there. I don't want to go with the double hook rig. That's a 4-ounce was actually holding. Grab one of these coin sinkers that Uncle Travis got me. So Travis and Cindy, unfortunately, yesterday got to learn exactly how shy I am in person. I feel like I was not a great host. Didn't mean not to be. I just... Unlike Travis. Now, Travis, I don't think he's ever met anybody that wasn't his friend immediately. Okay, so here's what I'm using. So I've got I think that's a 3-aught swivel. Crimped on. Goes down. 12-aught hook, which I've used a egg loop knot. And I took the tag in and went back through the eyes. So the idea, and then it goes down to another swivel, and then it just goes down to a 30-pound piece of fluorocarbon, which I'm just using to get rid of, not because I think it needs fluorocarbon. And that way the sinker can break off on itself the hook. So the idea is, with the hook on the bottom, this is going to kind of stick up. We'll see how it works. And this is one of those 4-ounce coin sinkers that Travis made me and brought for me. And let me tell you what a godsend that was. I appreciate him. He is a good dude. And Cindy,
Pie's good.
oh yeah, the pie was excellent. But skipjack Cindy, I didn't see her before she lost the weight, but she is a shell of her former self. What she has been doing has been, she has really lost weight and has just done an amazing job. And we ain't gonna talk about Ashley because Ashley has been running and doing her exercising, and she looks phenomenal. Of course, Ashley always looked phenomenal, as of course Skipjack Cindy always looked amazing too. But Ashley she went running today. She did the same trek she did last year. So last year, she was not a fan of, because she looked it up online. She's like, okay, I planned out the trek I'm going to take, gives me the right miles, all this kind of stuff. And then she comes back and she's like, I thought it was mostly flat. There's this hill. It had the kind of grade like, that famous area of San Francisco that they show on TV where, yeah. So she had a rough time last year. And this year, she ran the same trek, which surprised me after what she said about it last year. But she wanted to compare results. She was about a minute per mile faster this year. Took off 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes off of her total time. And we're all having wonderful food. Of course, Ashley is not a fan of smoked meats, and which didn't really mean much to me until I realized that also includes barbecue. So, so when you talk about somebody who's perfect in every way, there is that one way that she's not quite perfect, because you know,
Well, you have all of it?
yeah, I mean, you know, pulled pork is it's a southern staple. Especially Memphis, they think that they're the capital of the world. You may want to step back, babe,
Oh,
to,
that looks like that's gonna be juicy.
yeah, you might want to,
Move up here. Oh, we didn't get firewood yet.
do we need firewood?
Yeah.
All right. And the gut pocket went out, but we kind of thought that would happen. So what I'm going to mark that down is as chum. And here, let me let line out so it sinks instead of sinks there as opposed to penduluming back in. Tighten her up. Turn on the clicker. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can find the sheet in my truck. I don't know why it wouldn't be in there. I haven't thrown it away, and I looked briefly earlier. Didn't see it. Oh. No, but if you need junk mail from crap nobody wants, I got that in the truck. Did I put it here? That's not it. That's not it. Did any of y'all have that sheet they gave us when we checked in at the campsites? The sheet that they gave us at the campsites that shows the phone number for the firewood guy?
I have no clue.
Okay. That's okay. I thought it was somewhere in the truck, but yeah, but I don't know how often they are there. I think they're there from like 2 to 6 or 2 to 8. I didn't say. Do you want to?
I have a 10. I have that same time. I gave you that change back last night, didn't I?
No. Okay. If you can go check up her. If you stop by the campsite in the big tote, there should be the zippered pouch. Has all of my rigs in it. It probably says Berkeley Trilane or something on that side.
You need that back here.
Yeah. If you stop by the side, if you pick it up, I'd appreciate it. You know what? It may be on the front of the boat. Like, babe, it may be on the front of the boat under the cover on the front end.
Okay, like in the triangle.
Yeah. I thought it was in my truck and it's not. If you want to bring back a bunch of cold water, I'd love you even more. She's like, Mike, you are needy. I am needy. Let's see. 4 hours sleep. I did that Thursday night. So they got in late that night and after dark. And I was waiting for Ashley to put the tent up because I wanted to make sure that I put it in the right spot and all that kind of stuff. And that was before I tried to break my back in my boat. So I was not a lot of help when they got here. And then for some reason, I mean, well, not for some reason, I was in so much pain I just couldn't sleep. So I went to the dam Friday morning. I went and took a shower and everything about 4 o'clock. And I piddled around a little bit. I'm like, let her sleep. So I went down and tried to catch some skipjack at the dam. That didn't work. And came over here and started fishing for a little while, and I just got so tired, and I went back and crashed for about 4 hours, which was good because once I had some pain relievers and muscle relaxer, I was a little better. Hey, Scenic City, you'll be back tomorrow. That's good. Nice meeting you today. Yeah, Scenic City Fishing 423. I think I said a real fishing 420. Anyway, Scenic City Fishing. Met him today. Nice guy. Of course, everybody's a nice guy compared to me. Hey, Fishing, Hunting, Outdoors. Hey, Skipjack Cindy again. Ashley is, yeah, she's a superhero for no other reason than dating me. Jody, I need a kick in the butt, or you need a kick in the butt? Jody won a Catfish Pro reel today, and James won a piece of art, a piece of driftwood, I think, with a painted flag on it, and somebody wanted it and swapped him a reel for it, so he did that. Hey, Northern Fishing Outdoors, I am doing fabulous. I had a fish on earlier, but he took me into some kind of structure I couldn't get him out of. I gave him a good half hour to pull out of it, and he didn't do it. So I finally just broke him off. He may have gotten off the hook before that, but at first he did pull back when I gave him a chance, but then he didn't do it again. So anyway, got 4 pieces of carp out. The far right rod is a double hook rig with a skipjack head. The other 3 bright yellow rods, whatever they are, all skipjack pieces. And the left rod is a blue force rod from Triple City Anglers that actually won last year at the Gather. And it has a piece of the Blue River carp, preserved Asian carp bait on it. And that stuff ain't coming off the hook without a lot of work. That stuff ain't going on the hook without a lot of work. That was tough stuff. That was very tough. So with all the turtle bites I was having last night, it's been nice to have a piece of that on there just to mess with the turtles and go, ha ha. Good luck getting that off the hook, boys. So that's kind of what we're doing out here. Beautiful day. Can't ask for anything better than that. I'm needy. Jody, I am needy. But it was nice to finally meet James in person. He said I'm pain in his ass 24/7, which I don't really understand because I do sleep. But whatever. Yes, Jody, I am. There was a free sample that they gave to one of Ashley's kids. So, I mean, I have heard mixed reviews on it. I definitely wouldn't put it out on all 5 rods. But I figure if I don't give it a chance, then I really don't have anything to say bad about it, right? I don't have a place to talk about it. So I'm giving it a chance. And like I said, as far as something that's going to stay on the hook, that's going to stay on the hook. But so would a piece of leather. So there's that. But I mean, if I'm not catching anything on the skipjack, it's not really a very fair assessment anyway, comparison, whatever you want to say, because it's kind of a catch-22. If you're catching fish, you can catch them on anything, and if you ain't catching fish, you can't catch them on anything. So whatever. You can't really win that argument. Boy, I was getting all excited at the gathering today. So last year, there were so many door prizes that they actually had to go, everybody went through the list, and then they started over again with tickets. So this year they told you just keep tickets. If they get through, they may have enough, they have to do that again. Well, the rods were like the last thing to be given away. and we had, between the four of us, 4 tickets, we had, one of them had won a hat. And every time, boy, I was just sitting there going, please get me to the end, please get me. And I got to the end, and without a rod. None of us won a rod. I think there were 5 of them given away. Because I was sitting there going, man, my chances are really good because everybody here's already won everything. And Daryl had a bunch of the Gathering bait towels. Talk about looking a gift horse in the mouth. So when he first put them out there, he's like, okay, everybody come grab one if you want. There's 100 of them here. You know, they first come, first served till we run out. Well, they didn't run out. And then, so everybody that still had a ticket left that didn't win anything got another bait towel, which was very nice of him. And Laura, the Explorer, gave me a bait towel. I believe Catfish Regulators gave me a bait towel. Somebody else gave me a bait towel thinking I was Catfish Regulators. I was like, oh, now that you know I'm not Aaron, do you want value? Like, no, you can keep it. So I picked up a few stickers, picked up a few bait towels, and so Jackson, I had one on, but he got me stuck in some structure. I couldn't get him out. Hey, Tim Ferriss, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Jody, I am not needy. I mean, I'm just old and decrepit. I mean, I could have gone and done the things I asked Ashley to do, but then she's here stuck here with the rods and trying to live stream, and I don't know if that's her thing or not. And her oldest does not like the camera at all. I live stream when we were on a highway headed to Florida, interstate headed to Florida. It's like you're doxing us. You're telling everywhere we are. Like, it doesn't matter if they know where we are. We're not there anymore. And there was something that I recorded to do a short with, and I said, I'm recording this twice. And he was talking in the background, and you know, I said, okay, I'm about to upload it to YouTube. And he said, did you get me on this? I said, yeah, I told you I was recording. And he was like, no, you did not. And I was like, I'll just take the audio out, who cares? And he's like, if you put that on YouTube, I'm going to file a complaint. I'm like, okay, first off, kid, don't F with me, because that's not going to end well. Second, there's nothing you can say or do because I gave you notice. And then I'm sitting there playing in the front seat. I'm playing the recording where it says, I am recording this. But I'd already taken the audio out of the one that I uploaded. I said, look, I took the audio out. I don't know what more you want from me. But yeah. I heard a door behind me. Maybe it's Ashley, maybe it's not. Jody, I'm amazing and you know it. I saw how you looked at me and go, ooh, look at that sexy, sexy boy. Yeah. Ooh, he's so pretty. Too bad I'm here with James. Okay, maybe you said none of that. Maybe you thought none of that, but I can believe lies in my head. Yeah, Tim, and well, you know, there's a backstory behind, you know, I'm the first guy that their mom dated that they knew about. And my brother did the same thing when my dad died, where he decided he was the man of the house. And, you know, of course my mother had to send my brother off to, what do they call it? A boys' home, basically. It was through our church, so it wasn't like, you know, she got rid of him completely, but he lived with other people. And because he was, you know, he threatened to cut mom's brake lines and other stuff. She's like, I can't have that. Her kid hasn't done that. He just, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give out information about him because that's not really fair. But he has some social anxiety issues, and Yeah. And I'm not. I was raised differently than kids are today. You know, like when we went to get when we went out to dinner, which was very infrequently, I was told where we were going, and I was told what usually it was like Western Sizzler. I was told what I was allowed to order. I mean, I didn't get I wasn't getting the expensive stuff on the menu. I got the sirloin tips with gravy, which was back then about $3 or $4. Now kids are like, well, I want the filet. Well, don't we all? If I'm not buying it for me, I ain't buying it for you. And now everybody's trying to be friends with their kids and all that. And back then it was, look, we're going to dinner. If you can't behave yourself, you will pay for it when we get home. Whole 9 years. Yeah. The world is a different place. I'm gonna make sure again that YouTube hadn't fricked it up again. See if my leg moves. Oh, yep, I'm still alive. YouTube's been having problems where chat freezes. You can't, chat doesn't advance on our screens. And sometimes it just loses the stream for whatever reason. It thinks it's lost internet connectivity, but it really hasn't. You have to exit out, come back in. Here comes a big old pontoon boat, but I know it's not Jody on there because it's got a trolling motor. If I had any sense, I'd get back out on the boat today and get up and anchor out and catfish from the boat. But her oldest hates boats, and neither of the kids fish. And I don't want to go by myself and leave Ashley with the kids, and I obviously don't want to take Ashley with me and leave the kids by themselves. So, yeah. I was hoping Jody was going to take me out, but she apparently has better things to do with her life. I don't blame her. You haven't gone live all week. You go after dark when the boats are going in. Well, yeah, the problem with that is, well, in my younger days, there was nothing to stop me. I came home from work. I backed up, picked up the trailer, went to the lake, put the lights up. I was ready to go. I was going to stay out till after dark. Now it's like I can come up with every excuse in the sun why not to go. I mean, honestly, I hurting my back really badly on Thursday and then falling into the boat and out of the boat both. Yeah, that's done. It's messed with my mind a little bit. I'm not scared of my boat, but I'm not as bulletproof as I used to be. And I mean, I had my plan. Going to use the little Navionics boating app, which I realized I paid for that for no reason at all, because through Garmin I have the same thing because I have a Garmin fish finder. Is that turtle head out sticking out? surprised turtle being in water this choppy, but yeah. Yesterday when I was here, I saw a little snake, a little water snake. Anyway, where was I going with that? So my plan was real simple because I've got an iPilot trolling motor. I was going to turn on my trolling motor, leave it stowed, mark some tracks right on the ledge. So just follow the ledge with the boat with the big motor to do the start and the stop, and then I'd have the whole track set there, and then I could just drop the trolling motor and I could drag that whole track. But I didn't do that. I got my back injury fairly early on anyway. Well, now, you asked me if I wanted to go, and I said I brought my own boat, and yes, I'd love to go with you, but I didn't feel it was right to deprive somebody else who didn't have a boat of going, even though I'd still like me and Ashley to go out with you. It's kind of how I put that. But it's probably for the best that don't go out with you, because it'd be on James's boat, and I do not want a $90,000 boat payment. Because James has a nice boat. James has a boat with a little cabin on it where Jody can take naps and stuff. And there's plenty of room on the boat for both of them to argue with each other. There's lots of room on that boat for them to argue with each other. Oh, Bobcat Outdoors was another person that showed up today. I saw his boat. I was looking at it, trying to figure out how I was going to get them rod holders out of it without him seeing. Because I need some boat rod holders, some good ones. I got the cheapy ones off Amazon. They don't have a good angle to them. But otherwise, and you know, they're only right-handed threads, so the left side ones they want to fish poles, it kind of loosens it up in thread, but whatever. Is that the, well, I should tighten it, it should be the other way. But anyway, you get the idea. I can make excuses for everything. And I got those rod holder T-bars that I got off of Temu. One of them I left down in Florida because it works really good on the dock there. And I was going to put the other one on the boat, and I was like, well, if I only put one on, then I've only got 4 rod holders. I got to take my big giant metal bar off of there to get to those 4. And then I'd have to buy another one of those, and it certainly wouldn't be here by the time. And I just talked myself out of it. Plus, you can't really adjust the angle on those either. You can adjust it, you know, it spins around 360, and the rod holders can spin around, but they can't tilt. And they'd still be at that, I don't know, 35-degree angle or something, I think is what they're at. Because everybody on YouTube, I mean, I get it. I'm not disparaging the idea. Everybody loves to see a good takedown. And when your rods are not angled very much from horizontal, there's not a lot of takedown there. Having them straight up like this on the bank, everybody loves watching takedown on the bank. You know, I mean, yeah. How's the wind here? The wind is not bad. So you can see the waves they look like about 6 inches or so. It's got some chop to it, but there's no white caps, nothing like that. There's somebody out there even pulling a kid on the tube. Man, maybe a foot between top to bottom at best. It's not bad. The wind it's got a nice breeze. So, I mean, can't canopies from trees, but it's not bad. Not like it was Thursday. Hey, Mike Lockhart. I have not, unfortunately. What's in the bucket so far? Nothing yet. A bunch of hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I did have one good hookup earlier, but he drug it into some structure, and I gave him about 30 minutes to work himself out, and he never did. So ended up breaking the line, popped him off, popped the whole rig off, retied it, but out another piece of skipjack. So from left to right, Triple City Angler's rod, it's got a piece of Blue River Carp bait on it. That's Ashley's rod. The other 4 are all anvil rods. They have skipjack body pieces except for the far right rod, which has a double hook rig with a skipjack head on it. And there's decent chunks of bait out there. Everything's running like a 10 or 12 aught hook. So the competition here it's big fish, right? Biggest fish takes home $1,000. Second biggest 500, third 250, fourth 125, and fifth 75. You got to beat at least as of lunch today. You have to beat at least like 31, 32 pounds to even get 5th place. And low 40s was first place right at that point. So we're fishing for big fish. So, I'm fishing big hooks, big pieces of bait. Big pieces of bait to me, some of y'all are probably looking at it going, no, a big piece of bait is 3/4 of a skipjack, but I brought 6 skipjack with me from Memphis. A good thing I did, because man, there was nothing happening at the dam for skipjack. There's somebody that was catching some shad in a cast net, but I didn't have my cast net with me. It was in the boat, which was not with me. Probably should have went and got it and come back, but I didn't. Because last year, Josh Thompson was handing out skipjacks left and right. He had a bunch of them that were frozen, and he just, hi, welcome to gathering. Here's a big bag of skipjack. If you need more, let me know. And this year, the bait was just not plentiful. Everybody's had a problem catching bait. So we're all either using frozen skipjack, or some people are catching bluegills or shad. Last night they were supposed to have a bonfire over here, and we were supposed to come over here. We told Cindy and Travis about it, and Ashley had cooked up some hot dogs and stuff for us, and we had those, and all of us just kind of petered out real quick. And so we decided not to come to the bonfire. Turns out they didn't even have the bonfire because it was too windy. Because we were going to bring stuff for s'mores. So now Ashley, tonight we're going to do s'mores at our spot, I believe, unless the wind's too bad. Ashley used to camp a lot, so she's got a lot of the equipment. She hadn't done much since she got divorced because she didn't have an air mattress, so I bought an air mattress. But she had a tent. She also had to get a tent for the kids this time because we didn't originally know they were coming, and air mattresses for them. But she got the camp stove, and she knows what she's doing, which is very nice. Because I've been leery about it. I know, like Fun Fishing Adventure, Scotty, he goes different places and sees different people, and he'll go camping while he's there. And I'm just a fan of indoor plumbing and air conditioning. I ain't gonna lie. And nice, comfortable beds and TV and free Wi-Fi, and all that kind of stuff. And last year when we came, we stayed in a hotel. But this year, you know, she said, well, let's do camping. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And honestly, it wasn't bad. Last night, you know, we got some rain in the tent, which I just covered my head with the blanket, and that helped. And thank God she had a blanket in there, because I had to keep the fans going to keep the moisture from getting everywhere. But, you know, plus she likes a fan on. But I woke up freezing my little tushy off. Anyway, no one cares. Gonna try to do some crappie fishing tomorrow. Well, good luck to you, man. Crappie fishing is definitely fun. You know somebody who got a 52-pound flathead a couple hours ago? Who do you think it was, Jody? Was it, I don't know, Satan? Or was it James, or was it you? Probably one of the two of you. But that's okay, we'll get it disqualified. I saw on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, where Travis had caught a couple of good fish. He tried to text Daryl, and the number on the printouts was wrong. Well, that's kind of funny. Chat cats. You know, I didn't see him here. That doesn't mean anything. I do remember him saying or somebody saying he was coming. But then there's a lot of people that were at the gathering that I didn't know and didn't introduce myself to, because I'm actually, like I say, shy in person. What I need to do is get a shirt made up that just says "Fishing the Mid-South" on the front of it. Doesn't have to be, you know, like giveaways or store stuff that, you know, I don't need a shop or anything. I can't imagine who would want to wear my shirt. But it's nice when you see somebody in a shirt and you're like, oh, that's who you are. Well, folks, here's the problem. I have nothing against Joe Jelligan, I think is his last name, except for the fact that he's a local boy and guides on here, and we can't let the local boys win. We can't do it, folks. We gotta band together and catch better and bigger fish. I'm kind of surprised Fishing with Billy didn't come down for this. Or whatever his name is this week. He was Panfish Bill for a little bit. Then he was, I think, Fishing with Billy. Then he was 5 letters, TVRW, I don't know. And I'm not sure what his current one is. Billy's a fun guy. He's got some quirks to him, and he has rubbed some people the wrong way. I know that, but he seems to be a good-hearted person. Just somebody who trips every now and then, because he puts in the work. I mean, he puts out a lot of content. I think he needs, once he reaches his stride, finds himself, whatever you want to call it, you know, I think he's got potential to get there. And I have nothing against any of the full-time YouTubers. I don't know if Chat Cats is at that spot yet, but you know, like Creek Fishing Adventures is from somewhere over here in East Tennessee. You got Catfish Dave. Who's another? Kayak Catfish is somewhere around here. You know, all three of those have quit their jobs and have gone full-time YouTube. And I know Billy he lost his job recently. And I know where he's coming from. It's like, well, you can take the severance package, or you can stay on and we may still have to get rid of you. So he did the Sophie's choice, taking the severance package. So he's trying to build up his guide business further and, you know, make a go out of the guide service plus YouTube. And I wish him the best for it. I did, you know, there was a young man that came around, I don't want to say kid, but a kid, that was handing out Catfish Sumo stickers. And I did get one from him, but I didn't catch actual Catfish Sumo. Last year I won a pack of hooks from them, and I liked the hooks. They seemed very nice. Got rigs made up with them. One of my problems is I am not hook brand loyal yet. I have not found that hook that I just can't live without. So therefore, once I make a rig up, I don't know what hook it is. It's either a hook I will use or a hook I won't use. And there are some hooks I won't use, but they're, you know, unless there's something special about the hook that makes it unmistakable, I usually can't tell one from the next. I feel bad throwing good bait after bad, but these have been sitting for a pretty good while. And short of this rod, which I've already changed because I broke it off, nothing else has been changed. If I'm gonna put the effort in to be here, I might as well put in the effort to catch fish. And put fresh bait out there. Oh, that new reel coming out from River Cat's Tackle, I think he said it has a 7.1 to 1 gear ratio, which I really like. These Alios 400s, I think they have an 8.1 to 1. And the reason I like that higher gear ratio, you know, these baits don't look that bad, but whatever. When you need to reel in and get up over structure and stuff, that faster retrieve really, really helps. I'm sure when you're fighting a big fish, that torque from a lower gear ratio can also come in very handy. So there's a sweet spot to be had, that's for sure. I like these Abus with the low gear ratio. I like the quality of the reels. I wish they had a better gear ratio on them. I did this whole process wrong. Should have reeled them all in first. The reasoning behind that, you reel them all in. then you go cut the bait them all up, and then you go wash your hands, and then cast them all out, and you don't have guts all over everything. This leader is obscenely long. And just ridiculously long. Oh well. And that one's got a head, so I'm leaving it out. So I'll rear this up a little bit. I did not know what I was thinking when I tied this rig. I'm gonna go shorten that. That's ridiculous. I think I was gonna try that as a bumping technique. I think that's why it's so long. But I'm not gonna get good distance with that. It's just too dang long. I didn't want to cut it because yeah, it's a three-way rig. I was gonna use it for bumping. I didn't really want to cut it because I got it crimped on. Come on. Sit there. Give me my hook back. And with this 80-pound leader material, or not 80-pound mono, a tri-lane nut does not hold up to 80 pounds. It holds to about 60, 65. Which the crimp holds to about 70 or so, so it's not that much of a difference, but still. And you don't have to deal with exactly what I'm dealing with here. Where the mono is so inflexible, it does not want to tie. Both of the loops. There we go. Now it's set up better. And there's that long piece of mono that I dropped. Take that over to the trash can. There's set the baits we're using. There's a tail piece. No, he wouldn't come out. I had to break it off. Me too. Y'all have a good night. Okay. Also met Miss Shirley T. That's who I was just talking to. Told you I ever forget some people. Well, that went across Ashley's rod. Woo! There's a step there, Mike. But I got a good length of cast out of it. Now we're back to 5 baits. These are the little Danco pliers, ultimate braid scissors. Did a little short on those. I really like those. Let's see, anything exciting going on here? Lots of people going live. Let's see. Yeah, Captain Billy Oxy. Onyx, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Megan. Mergen, excuse me. Hey, Mergen. So we got 4 pieces of skipjack out, and we get that 1 piece of Blue River carp bait out. Had 1 good hit, but the fish took me into some structure, and I didn't get him out. So that's what we're dealing with right now, folks. I do like these rod holders for Travis Young. Now they're unfinished. They're not painted or dipped in plastic dip or anything like that. And they've got the rebar ridges on them. But boy, pulling those things out of the ground is not easy. You gotta, push them side to side, front to back, all that kind of stuff to loosen up the hole enough to where you can finally get enough pull on it. So I'm not worried about the fish taking these away. The first bank rod holders I've had that have been not worried about the fish being able to do too much. Now I do have these on bait clicker. I've always liked bait clickers. Oh, not always. When I was a kid, I didn't know what they were. Thought they were to make noise that somehow the fish could hear. But for those who don't know and are, as dumb as I used to be, I'm still kind of dumb, so we'll leave it at that. You turn your bait clicker off so that it doesn't make any noise. You cast it out because you don't want that engaging that extra clicker, which is going to slow down your spool and all that good stuff and make noise and drive everybody nuts. You turn your bait clicker on, you tighten the line up with it in the rod holder where it's going to be, and then you push the button with the bait clicker still on, and then when something takes it, it'll zzz as it pulls out. But of course, when you hook up, you want to turn it back off so that when you're reeling it in, it's not going dee, 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 or more like zzz, 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 whatever it does. I'm not good with making noises. At least not useful ones. So there you go. And then Martin told me that there's 2 logs down here in kind of like a T formation. He pointed basically the spot where I had my fish stuck at, so that's probably what happened there. I almost brought a couple of surf rods so I could get some extra distance. I was like, oh no, I'll be fishing from the boat. But I like it out here. These are the spots that Daryl buys or rents every year. And they're open for anybody that wants to come fishing. And if you want to put your tent here, you're more than welcome to do that if there's somebody hadn't already beat you to it. And like Big Mike was set up here last year. I think Regs was out here last year. I think Travis was out here last year, Travis Young. So, you know, it's good. And while I'm not over there with the big group, there's a camaraderie out here. They just having other people close. I don't know. Slower and steadier the pull on the clicker, the bigger the fish. Short runs are usually small fish. Well, now that depends. You're right. With catfish, they typically they don't make big long runs. But you get out in the salt water, which I realize is not really what we're doing here. But those big reds will go up. They'll hit it and run. Jack ball, same thing. I mean, there are a lot of fish that'll hit it and run. Yeah, your big catfish, they don't move fast. I mean, they've got power to them when they need it, but they're not. They don't do a lot of twitch muscle. They do more of the strength stuff. They don't dart around. It's not economical in their calorie burn. And while fish don't necessarily study calories the way humans do, I think that they do understand they have to eat. The more you move around, the more you have to eat. And so they don't expend a lot of energy chasing bait typically. When you catch catfish on the spinner bait and stuff, it's usually not a big one. Because the little ones just haven't learned that yet. They're like, ooh, something to eat. Smack. Yeah, flatheads, they'll take your bait and they'll just sit right where they are and just chomp it. Blues tend to want to grab it and take it somewhere where they're comfortable to do their little feast. Flatheads just kind of like chomp. Common camping, any action yet? Well, I had a good hookup earlier, but it took me into structure and I lost him. Had to break it off. Otherwise, we're sitting out here in the shade, nice little breeze blowing, watching the beautiful scenery. Until a ski boat comes by and ruins the world for everybody. David, the target fish today is catfish. Going for the world record blue cat. I'll take the world record flathead if I must. The world record channel cat is not in these waters. You got to go up north for that. We're at the Gathering, which is a get-together every year. Usually the second or third, or I don't know what weekend in May. I've got some in the truck, but I don't necessarily need it. If you need some, I got some.
I have your CDs.
Ooh, there's my binder of all the goodies.
I have your $20.
Oh, that didn't work out well.
I have the firewood unloaded over here. I got it for 10.
Oh.
I have you 2 waters. You know what this was?
She gave me all my money back. She's obviously not a child. Because kids are like, change? What change? No, that Coke cost me $50. It did, right on the nose. They actually gave me a discount because, I didn't have quite enough money. Of course, I remember when I was a kid, Dad sent me into the store, and I mean, every time I tried, I'm like, I'll keep the change. I ain't scared. So I'll show my little binder to you guys. It's not complete yet, and I hope it's as organized as I think I remember it. So it's a Berkeley. It's for bass fishing. You know how it goes. So it's got these plastic bags in it. Well, these plastic bags are for worm bags, and they're not going to be good. So what I did, I've got sinker slides up here, got some swivels, different sizes. I've got everything in here, butt hooks, and some beads. So I've set up different setups. There's all my skipjack rigs, right in this one. And I got some. I'll get you some, babe. And then I put in either my 60 or my 80-pound rigs. So I put them in these little 2-inch by 3-inch zipper bags that I get off of Amazon. And I take those and put them inside a quart or gallon size Ziploc, and then I put them in the bags there because I don't want to get hooks eating up those. One for Mio, one for you. That's the only one that's in there. Okay.
Down there, I didn't see one, but I'm sure.
Can you reach it?
I'm coming.
You know, they're all going to get opened eventually.
Yeah. There's pomegranate going back down to the door.
Okay. Get some more naprosyn in my system. Oh, do what? I don't know. I'm flexible. Okay.
But when I was driving along, I mean, I have such a big picture. When I drive along the top, oh, that's good. This is like,
All right. Which one did you see?
huh? El Fogon or something like that. It's when you go out to Hixson Pike, you make a right, and it's just down on the left.
That may have been where I ate. Yeah. Okay, I don't know.
It's not very far.
I don't know where this came from. It wasn't here when I got here, and I don't think it fell out of here, but
Well,
that looks like a knot I tie. So
there was another one I saw.
May have.
Too, like a round one. Yeah.
oh,
No,
that's an acorn. Okay, yeah, I've seen that a couple of.
Acorn.
No. Yeah, I've seen it a couple times and thought, or seen a couple of these acorn butts and thought, oh, there's a sinker. But anyway, so this little rig bag, I find it really helpful. Now, all of these, the large plastic bags in the binder didn't come with it. I bought 2 of these. I just don't know where the other one is. I think I took all the bags out of the other one and put it in this one. But I can also get those pencil bags during back to school that have the binder, that go in a binder. And they're not the same. They'll fit in these binders, but they're not the same as the bags that are in here now, so they need to be in their own. But anyway, I have my binder set up because my problem is that I have it doesn't look like there's a lot of rigs in there, but you should see home. What, baby?
There's a lot of stuff that can easily get disorganized.
Yeah.
Overwhelming to go through and trying to find what you need when you know you have it.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to avoid this time was,
Yeah.
I've got some 40-pound rigs and some 60-pounders with 6-aught hooks and below on them. I left that at home because I knew I was out here for big fish. I didn't want to distract myself with anything else. And then I distracted myself with life, so there's that. But the good news is I got people behind me over at the tent, and if I needed to leave, I just asked them to watch my rods. Of course, not my fish if they bring it in, because I've always wondered, in my head, and it has nothing to do with the gathering, you know, at what determines whose fish it is. So, like, is it the person that casts it out or the person that brings it in? Because oftentimes that can be two different people. I mean, it always seems to be the person who brings it in. I get that, but you know, if somebody just walks up and reels it in, you know, they did. I guess they did the important part of the work, which was getting the fish in. But I don't know.
Everyone picking the spot and the right bait and all that.
Right.
Stuff.
You know,
I can get that.
it's like when you go fishing with kids. They're like, "Here, bait my hook for me, cast it out there." Okay. Now, when something hits, it's my fish. Now take my fish off my hook.
Like fish on meat.
Huh?
Like fish on meat.
I didn't use those words.
I'm happy to come and do it.
Well, I mean, you know, we're a team. You take care of helping me, yeah, getting the tent up, and you know all that stuff, and I bait your hook and I put it out there. Oh, there goes an express boat. I had one in my younger days, and I was much like them. You know, hitting the waves like that was fun. Let me tell you, it sucks when you get old.
They'll figure out when they get old.
Yeah, they'll figure.
Even if you told them right now, they wouldn't believe you. They're young.
Yeah, and there's something white floating out there. That may be a bobber that got lost by somebody.
I was thinking it might be like a channel marker buoy type thing. I see an orange one farther down. I was wondering if maybe it's like greenish, and I can't really tell.
Oh, I'm talking about the one right here.
Oh, something like
Yeah, you got a green one out there, and then there's a smaller green one. I don't know what the smaller green one's for,
yeah. Yeah, that itty bitty one.
but those big green ones out there,
Yeah, the big
I've seen
channel marker.
I've seen ones that were beached on the Mississippi, off the Mississippi. I'm like, man, those things are much. They don't look that big from here.
No, they're big.
It ain't something you want to hit with a boat.
Yeah, those are the same. I mean, they're not the same kind, but they're
Yeah, what you got in Florida and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, I know what those are. Those are channel markers.
And it's weird because the channel is significantly deeper or wider than they have the markers. Or maybe that's just the deepest main channel, but it's not like if you leave the channel, you run into your risks. Where in most places, if you leave the channel, you run a lot of risks.
Yeah, probably. Oh man, such a gorgeous day.
It really is. The only thing more gorgeous in this day is the gorgeous woman sitting with me. I tried to talk her into marrying me at the gathering this year. She did not do that. You fish Susquehanna in Pennsylvania for flathead. Current record is 66 pounds, 6 ounces. There you go. That's a big flathead. That binder's how Jeremy weighs stored his gear. Best way. Yeah, well, I didn't get the idea from him. I mean, back in my bass fishing days, you know, that the idea is that you'd put a bag of soft plastics in each one of those bags and you had it all organized, whatever. But yeah. Hey, Skeeter. Hey, Mrs. Skeeter. Hey, Nikki Lee. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Glad to see everybody in here.
No, it's just your CD case from back in the 90s and you repurposed it.
CD cases were smaller, baby. I may still have a CD case.
If you're a rookie, they were.
I don't know if I ever threw it away when I moved, but you know, I had one that had, you know, Windows 2000 server, Windows 2003 server all on DVDs and, you know, Windows XP. Had it all burned to CDs.
Yeah, we've got those.
And that was my binder, you know, if there was something wrong somewhere, you know, I had the DVD for it. I work in IT for those who don't know. Because let me tell you,
I carried enough discs to swap out of my 10 disc changer in my car.
see, I've never had one of those.
I put one in my car. It was like a 94 Mirage. So of course I put a 10 disc changer in it. Didn't even have a clock.
I can't tell you the number of CDs I've played in a car. It's a very small number.
Yeah, that was the peak of it.
I used to wear cassette tapes out.
Yeah, but then you don't want to have to buy it all over again.
Yeah. But I think once I moved to a major market area for radio, that the radio stations were just better.
plan on sitting out?
I don't know. Until I catch a huge fish, but I don't know if you are going to come back next year and pick me up or not.
Oh, so the kids are definitely gonna be under.
We can go whenever. I was kind of surprised when I got here yesterday morning. It was just Travis out here, I think, and or even when I came back after lunch today. Big Mike's rods weren't out here. I guess everybody was at the gathering, so I guess that's why. But I just would have thought, and actually, I guess that morning I did come here when nobody was here yet. I think Big Mike's brother was down here, so I think all the rods were out. But it was weird coming back and, only a few rods out because.
I felt like there were a lot of people out fishing last year. Along the sides.
Oh, well, there still are. I mean.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah,
Some, but.
Last year it felt like you couldn't get a rod in edgewise.
Yeah, that's why I was catching that tree over there. Like that or the guardrail.
Yeah.
I do like something chickeny at the restaurant. Make that one for me. So if you have like chicken and jasmine rice, but they're not gonna have jasmine rice. So I was thinking I could do like some chicken and veggies or something. Or we could get like that chicken soup stuff.
Yeah.
Make some magic there.
Now, the Mexican restaurant, when I was there Thursday night before y'all got here, they had somebody out on the patio singing. And
It looked like there was a crowd on the patio when we drove by.
yeah. I'm going to take my microphone off for a minute and we'll talk to the guys over there. How about watching the rods?
Oh.
And when they tell me I'm a loser, I don't want everybody here.
I'm no big rush. I just was.
Well, you kids will be when they start the off.
That's true. That's true. And honestly, I was gonna go like this and shower later. I'm super adorable right now. I'm really tired, and I know once I shower, I'm gonna crash.
Yeah, they said they'll watch them. Of course, they reeling fish is theirs. Seems perfectly fine. So I'll just leave everything down here.
Do you want to ride in my car?
I need to hit the bathroom first.
I can drive you up to the closest one.
Okay.
Or do you want the coming from
Yeah.
What's this?
Hang on. Well, guys, oh, I guess you put my microphone's right here. You can probably hear it anyway. Guys, we are going to go get some dinner. Get Big Mike and get Travis Young over there, and Martin. They've all agreed to watch the rods, and so I can just leave all my chisel here, and we'll be back later on the night, I think. Well, I have to come back. See, if I leave all my crap here, I have to come back. That's kind of the way it works. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all the kind words. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Hey, it's better with y'all here. I can't say it any differently. I'm blessed that anybody even wants to watch this crap. Thanks for watching, folks. We will see you later. Hopefully go live later on the night. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, I'm about to head. We're gonna get some dinner. See y'all around.